About a month ago, I reported on a situation with the well-known anime artist Sakimi-Chan. There was a lot of people on Twitter just trying to bully her. They were coming after her, insulting her work, using the usual buzzwords, everything that they could. They're basically throwing all the darts at the dartboard, seeing what would stick. All these insults trying to get her to probably try to get her to quit her work, and that's what it comes down to. In my opinion, these people were just very jealous that Sakimi-Chan is well-known and successful. Well, they have come after her again. I don't know if it's all the same people or different people, but there are thousands of people on Twitter right now liking tweets that are advocating Sakimi-Chan to be canceled. So they're escalating this issue even further. A month ago, it was bad enough. They were harassing her. Now they're trying to actually get her canceled as well. Unfortunately, Sakimi-Chan has apologized to them, and this whole situation is, of course, getting more messy because, they don't like apologies. I'll show you all of that in a moment, but also just know, even when I talked about the situation a month ago, they came after me. They flagged my video, flagged it, and failed in doing so, but they did. What a mess. So who knows what will happen after I record this one. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing this video, liking the video, all that sort of stuff to help it out. And maybe consider taking a look at my website, NyanNet. I have an option at the very bottom of the homepage where you can donate through PayPal if you like to support the work that we're doing here. Other options, of course, we have Patreon linked in the description, or you can become a channel member via the join button right next to the subscribe button. All of that helps out production here. And without further ado, here's the news. So here's probably the worst tweet going after her, but just showing this alone doesn't do it justice. You have to understand that there are hundreds, if not thousands of people tweeting right now, hate-filled messages directed at Sakimi-Chan or smearing her, trying to cancel her. You get the idea. This one is one of the most prominent. It's got 3,100 retweets, 7,300 likes. Of course, a little bit more than those figures we see there. Blatantly says, okay, let's get her out of here. Sakimi-Chan is getting the axe this season. Literally, that's cancel culture at its finest right there, folks. Right there on screen. The thing is, Sakimi-Chan is self-employed. So I don't know if they will succeed with that, which is a talking point I'll get into more because, we'll talk about that more when we look at Sakimi-Chan's apology. For now, you're probably wondering, why are they so upset with her? Well, it's apparently because of things that she's been liking things on Twitter. And I don't really want to show everything that she's been liking in these tweets because it gets a little too political for me. As you know, I don't really take sides in this stuff. I always, if you stick with me for a while, you'll probably notice I'm on the side of the people. As cheesy as it sounds, I'm on the side of the people. I've been fighting these companies to stand up for the fans. I go around LA helping people in need. I don't really make it a political thing, man. I just do what I think is right and, speak my mind on that stuff while trying to avoid the madness of politics as a whole. So anyways, while I'm not going to click on these images and show them entirely, you might be able to get an idea of what Sakimi-Chan was liking just from this and make of that what you will. If you want to know more about her opinion on all of that, I would respectfully ask you to go to her, take a look at, I guess she unliked all these anyways. So let's just move on and go see what she's saying about all of this. We'll take a look at Sakimi-Chan's statement. Sakimi-Chan says, I want to apologize for the offense I've caused with posts I've liked. I have removed them. Again, I'm very sorry if I have offended you with them. I will keep my tweet feed/like section art only from now on. Below is a more detailed version of my thoughts. Says, hey guys, as you may know, this account has gotten a lot of attention lately over some likes in the feed. The world has changed so quickly, and the power and hope of the BLM protests have sparked hope for many people who have been marginalized and oppressed for way too long. Change is not without its frustration, though, and as someone with many friends who are also small business owners in cities across the world, as well as friends who are police or family with law enforcement, our hearts break for the people harmed by some of the looting and rioting that have occurred in some areas. Please understand that I do not confuse people destroying things with the many people peacefully protesting for equality and change. I also don't really follow American politics closely, and I'm really not interested in taking sides in any political discussions. I'm pro-peaceful protests that have resulted in police reform and other positive changes, and I'm against the violence from both the riots, looting, as well as the police violence towards peaceful protesters. I also appreciate all the peaceful protesters that have band together to stop looters and protect others from harm from those who seek to cause trouble. Those are my thoughts. Other than that, I'm here for the art, and I will try and keep this account art only to focus both on my feed as well as in my like area. I want to focus on the positives we all have in common, not things that divide us. Thank you for reading. And of course, how do you think this apology has gone for Sakimi-Chan? Well, let me show you this tweet that responds to it and has 1,100 likes. Her tweet has 3,400. It's about a third of the likes. And, geez, man. Here's what it says. Candace Owens is a known grifter who spreads misinfo on a Fox level. The problem wasn't that you liked those posts on an art account. It's that you liked them and agreed with them in the first place. This apology won't do what you think it will. I urge you to get educated. So this person's obviously saying this unironically. They're serious. I mean, I'll make a little joke with the last part, though. I do agree. I don't think the apology is going to do what Sakimi-Chan thought the apology will do, so I suppose that's a fair point. And it says, I urge you to get educated. Yeah, well, what are you doing to actually help her? Are you sending her links or anything? And I'm not saying I agree with this person for the record. I'm just pointing it out. He says, I urge you to get educated. Doesn't send her any links or anything to read or anything like that. So this is what I mean with Twitter, man. People are so phony on there. You'll gladly call out Sakimi-Chan and hate on her and insult her and say that she's uneducated, basically, make that implication. But then you won't actually give her any material to help educate herself. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying I agree with this, but I'd imagine if you really genuinely felt that way, you might want to send her something to read or that sort of thing. Apparently, no, you just want to attack her on Twitter. Here's another example. This person gets over 1,000 likes saying in response to Sakimi-Chan's apology, this isn't a political issue, nor is it solely an American problem. Racism is a human issue that affects us all. I don't think making your account just for art and nothing else isn't the solution. Wait, you don't think it isn't the solution? Doesn't that mean it is the solution? Then I don't think making your account just for art and nothing else isn't the solution. Okay. You have a lot of influence. Not speaking up is taken aside. And once again, over 1,000 likes on that. This is a terrible take, very intolerant. Dude, I'm sorry. Not everyone has to obsess over social issues and that sort of thing. And not even just that. They can take other approaches too. As I've said before, people can talk about these things on their own private time. They don't have to force it down their followers' throats. A lot of people don't like that. If you want to use your followers for that sort of thing, by all means, go ahead. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to focus on what their followers followed them for to begin with. In Sakimi-Chan's case, it's her art. They like her art. They follow her because they like her art and want to see more art. To then use that goodwill to try to force rhetoric, whether it's good or bad, I'm not debating that. I'm just saying that then forcing rhetoric down their throat is an abuse of their goodwill, in my humble opinion. Now I'm just going to scroll down a little bit, and you can see this is actually pretty much all people roasting the person whose tweet we just read. So that's kind of amusing right there. Hold up, scrolling by, I caught this image of Korone. Take a look at that. It says, it's an art account. Of course, it's just for art. I don't think they're being sarcastic either. I think they're seriously saying that. It's an art account. Get over it. She just wants to talk about art now. Big deal. Isn't it funny how that person didn't have a problem with Sakimi-Chan not talking about these things until the witch hunt began? These people are so pathetically insincere, in my humble opinion. But let's focus on Korone for a second, because she is our adorable little doggo. Shouts out. Another example of the apology just sending these people into more of a rabid frenzy. This person says, as much as I appreciate this sorry I got caught standard issue apology, please take a look at yourself and the toxic fan base you've cultivated and do something about it. Otherwise, don't even make these terrible apologies. Yeah, look at yourself, man. You want to talk about toxicity, excuse me. Take a look at yourself. Take a long look in the mirror. If you can stand it. You probably can't, though. That's why you live 24/7 on Twitter, you weirdo. Responding to that tweet is this one that says, people aren't aware, or they're purposely ignoring the fact that her apology is bad. She got caught and she lost over 2,000 followers in a short 8 hours. She has done pissed off several people off. What? What do you even mean? And people who are accepting the apology is allowing her to continue her toxicity. I see way more toxicity from this post and the one above it, in my opinion. But the real thing that stands out is this. She got caught and she lost over 2,000 followers in a short 8 hours. Once again, there you go. These people don't care about these quote-unquote issues. In my opinion, they just use them as an excuse to witch hunt people, to bully them, to go after them, to hate on people who are successful. That's what these miserable people on Twitter want to do. And it's so disgusting how they will stand on the moral high ground of people who are suffering, and they'll try to use that as their merit. You have to be a real scumbag to do stuff like that. At least that's the way I see it, man. Now I would like to go over to this tweet from Sporadic Sanity because Sakimi-Chan responds to it. This tweet is in response to the apology tweet from her. It says, "Never ever give an inch to the outrage brigade or they'll take a mile. Just don't listen to their impotent whining and keep doing you. Nothing is ever enough for those types." And she responds and says, "I just wanted my side to be out there at the very least. After this, I will keep things strictly art related from now on." And that's what I signed up for originally. We actually have our buddy, that one Easy Gintama fanboy, responding to it as well. Oh, and there's Nameless. Take a look at that. We'll see what they both say. Easy Gintama fanboy says, "Don't worry about these weirdos that came after you just because of what you liked. All they care about is getting likes themselves and spending all day on Twitter." You know, if I didn't know better, I would read that and be like, come on, that's crazy. People don't really do that, but I do know better. Unfortunately, people do that. Nameless says, "We heard you loud and clear. We got your back. Don't worry. Hearts. These people are going to regret coming after you when they realize you're not alone." Now, as we come to the latter part of this video, I do have some kind of good news here. You see, about 35 minutes ago, Sakimi-Chan posted this picture, new art of Mirko she was working on from My Hero Academia. And there's a tweet here, you can see it says, "Okay, but please issue a proper apology." The thing is, it's got 40 likes, but 73, tweets replying to it or whatever. It's basically, it got ratioed. That's what I'm getting at. This tweet got ratioed. So people are pushing back very hard against these intolerant witch hunters, these fanatical witch hunters who just want an excuse to go after people. It's good that Sakimi-Chan has a lot of support, you know? Again, she's got over 600,000 followers. I think she'll do all right. It's unfortunate that she apologized. I do think she handled the situation pretty poorly, but hopefully she's able to move on in the best way from this, and I have a hunch that she'll be okay. That's all I got on this one. Thank you all for tuning in. Shouts out to the kind people who promoted the morning segments, because we had two today. DXDKJ, Ambi-Pass Studio Production, Pot on the Brain, Dark Capri Sun, Faunus Ravenwood, Striker Red, Samir A, KJC, Intimidator 0108, John E, Shield Warrior, Robert S, Kenta, NPC, I always love that one, The Dinosaur King, Shogun, Game Wizard 02, and then we got DXDKJ, Pot on the Brain, The Lazy Slacker 13, Shield Warrior, Striker Red, The Dinosaur King, Game Wizard 02, Faunus Ravenwood, Phoenix 6006, Deshaun M, Castavin, and The Ice Cream is Just an Illusion, also KJC, Raja U, Shogun, and Tony D. Thank you all once again. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Go ahead and talk through your streams, we know exactly what you mean.